Now is not a good time to be a gangster. You have Trump in office who's liable to write in a law any given day that designates your specific gang as a terrorist organization. Now is not a good time to be a gangster, especially in Los Angeles, where they are getting ready for the 2028 Olympics. Which means what? It means they're going to start cleaning up the city of LA. It happened in 1984 when the Olympics came to Los Angeles. They got rid of all the homeless, pushed them to the outskirts of LA. They cracked down on gang activity. They painted over all the graffiti. They cleaned the city up in 1984, and trust, they will be doing the same thing over the next few years leading up to the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. If you haven't heard, a bunch of members of the ROLLIN 60s have been arrested by the feds, including media personalities BRICC Baby from No Jumper, Loose Cannon, and Big U, who they are claiming to be the, quote, mob figure. It is not a good time to be a gangster. They are not playing. And you know, when the feds come for you, it's pretty much a done deal. They have all their ducks in a row. They've been following you for a long time. The feds aren't going to come in and just blunder stuff. Like, oops, yeah, just kidding. No, we didn't know. They follow through with everything. But it was kind of shocking to see BRICC Baby and Loose Cannon in those mugshots that have been circulating the internet all day. Very, very interesting to see that. Why? Well, because BRICC Baby was at the top of his game. Loose Cannon, apparently, owns a lot of businesses. He's a hothead online. But apparently, behind the scenes, allegedly, a very smart businessman who owns a lot of businesses and real estate. So I'm shocked to see that. Not really shocked based on this factor, though. The fact that for the past 2-3 years, however long BRICC Baby's been on No Jumper, and this is the part that I just don't understand. All the content I've seen from Loose Cannon online, sometime I'll watch their content and my jaw will literally be hanging to the floor. Did they really just say that on the on YouTube in front of everybody? Wait, hold on. Did they really just say that? Why would they say something like that? And I can't be the only one who's thought that watching No Jumper over these years. But when I did see that story, it was shocking. But off top, first thing I thought was, I saw this coming a mile away. Stevie Wonder could have saw this coming. Ray Charles could have saw this coming. A mile away. See, this is why I couldn't be a gangster. I had the opportunity when I was a kid to go that route. I saw them across the street hanging out. I was affiliated with them throughout my teens and early 20s. But I knew if I become a gangster and one day we all get caught and my mugshot is right there amongst 20 other people, I'm sorry, but it's free those people because I'm telling on everybody. I'll take a chicken sandwich. Actually, can I get it spicy? Yeah, spicy, if that's cool. Dr. Pepper? Why not? I don't like Dr. Pepper, but if that's all you have, I'll take a Dr. Pepper. Let's get to talking. And that's why I was never a good candidate for the streets, because I am going to tell on you. I mean, to this day, look, don't do illegal shit around me, because if I'm ever called to court and I have to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God, I'm telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. One phrase that really annoys me, one phrase that I just, when I hear someone say it, it annoys me. The phrase is, I don't wish prison on anyone. Man, I don't wish prison on anyone. I hear people say that all the time. I heard probably 5 people say that today just listening to 2 or 3 hours of content of this ROLLIN 60s arrest. I don't wish prison on anyone. Look, let's hope that Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, and Big U get out of this thing. Let's hope. But if they are responsible, guilty, truly guilty for the crimes that they have been accused of, I'm sorry, I wish prison on them. I'm sorry. I'm not one of those guys, I don't wish prison on anyone. First of all, I've never been to prison. I know it's probably, I've heard it's worse than hell. But if these people are responsible for what they did, then yes, I wish prison on them. I'm sorry. I'm a civilian, not a gangster. My street days are way behind me. I'm so sidewalk, it's crazy. Keep me off the streets. Shout out to the sidewalk, man. Keeping me off the streets. I got it right away that there are only 2 endings to this for the most part. Prison or the ground. I got that right away. Thankfully, I got that right away. Thank God I got that right away. And plus, I've never been good with taking other people's orders. I've always been kind of like a loner in a sense by myself. I mean, I've had a lot of friends in the past. I still do have a lot of good friends, but I'm a loner for the most part. So, but I can't be taking other people's orders, and I got to show up on certain days. Be like, tomorrow's hood day, homie, you got to show up. I'm like, damn, bro, I got to work. I got to show up? All right, I guess I'm showing up to hood day. Hey, homie, mandatory DP Monday morning, 9 a.m. Dog, I got to work. I meet up at a DP at 9 in the morning? Can we, like, push it to, like, 5:30? I could probably get back by 5:30. But a high percentage of the incidents described in the RICO indictment can be traced back to podcasts or online back and forth activity. God damn, I've been saying this for years. Why do people say some of the stuff that they say online? It baffles me. Back in the day, the cool thing was to not get caught. The cool thing was to not spread the word. The cool thing was to do a crime and just shut the fuck up. Now, it's mandatory almost. It's part of the game, this game that we play, right? It's all part of the game, homie. It's all part of the game. You know one thing I realized about the game? You know one thing I realized about the game early, and I still realize it to this day? We're the ones playing the game, but we always lose in the motherfucking game. Name me one of us that won the game. Name me one person of color who's won this game. It's all part of the game, homie. Chalk it up to the game, dog. You know what I'm saying? We're the only ones that lose in this game. They're the only ones that win. The only ones that win are the white folks, man. Huh? The ones who profit off of us. Prisons. Huh? The judges, the lawyers. I mean, we keep so many white folks in business. It's crazy. They're the ones winning the game, and they ain't even playing this motherfucker. They just waiting for us to get down to our last quarter. Put that last quarter in the machine. And lose that game so they can send your ass to one of those prisons. But trust when I tell you, that is what they are going to do. Right now, the city of Los Angeles is cleaning up for the Olympics. Cleaning up, man. If you are not aware of 1984, let me share a little story with you. See, back in 1984, it was a rough time in Los Angeles. Crack just hit the streets like a wildfire, and people were busting back and forth with Uzis. You had Batarams coming down the street. You had 50 Crips hanging out on the corner. You had gangs sprouting up everywhere. 1984 was a rough time in Los Angeles. But guess what? Rain, sleet, shine, Crip blood or snow, we are going to have the Olympics in 1984. So what did the city of Los Angeles decide to do? I mean, there was homeless. We had Skid Row. We had a lot of pockets in LA with a lot of homeless. We had gangs galore. Well, what they started doing is locking motherfuckers up. Oh, they probably started back in 82, 83. They started rounding people up. And what happened was a documentary came out, a news story came out, an expose came out about this hidden underworld where people in red are shooting at people in blue, and they're selling this crazy rock out of a bag that has everybody going crazy. And this is where they're going to be having the 1984 Olympics. And all of a sudden, Los Angeles was the #1 spotlight in the world. Wait, this is where we're going to be having the Olympics? So the city of LA got in front of it, cleaned out the areas where the Olympics were going to be held. The Olympics were held in different sections all over Los Angeles County. They had swimming in Long Beach. They had track and field in Compton. But that's literally all I can think of right now. I don't watch the Olympics. I don't give a damn about the Olympics, to be honest with you. But they cleaned up the areas where the Olympics and the traffic was going to be headed. They had curfews. If you were out past a certain time, you're getting arrested and sent to jail. And you'll just sit. Don't get arrested the day before the Olympics, because your ass is sitting there as long as the Olympics are going on, they'll let you. And that's what they did. Made a bunch of people sit in jail while the Olympics were going on, and then after the Olympics, they just let him back out. All right, go ahead. You can do it. Now, go ahead and do whatever you want. Now you can do whatever you want. That was Los Angeles. That's what they were doing in 1984. They were hiding this underworld of C's and B's being thrown up. What the heck? No, California ain't just palm trees and blonde bitches. No? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, no. There is a whole underworld. And you best believe come 2028, and you're going to notice your city. They're going to start paying a little more attention come 2028. And they're starting right now. Right now. It's a big job. It's going to take a long time, few years, to clean up the city. But trust me when I tell you, they are trying their hardest, and they will be trying their hardest to clean it up. What do you think? Am I tripping? Comment down below. And please hit that like button if you haven't already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, hit that subscribe button. I have a serious question. Is Trump partly responsible for the ROLLIN 60s getting hit up by the feds. And I say this with the serious, about as serious as it gets. Is Trump responsible for the feds going after the ROLLIN 60s? Huh? Our BRICC baby, Loose Cannon and Big U, sitting behind a cell right now because of an order from Trump. I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it with this guy. And look, Trump doesn't like, we already know the ones he's going after, right? He's going after the MS-13s. He's going after the Tren de Araguas. What would stop him from going after the Crips or the Pot Roos or the Bloods? Nothing. Especially if he's listening to inner city people, the ones who live in the city, who are, and I'm going to use the word, even though a lot of you probably don't want to hear this word, are terrorized in their own community. I mean, since the inception of gangs, civilians have been terrorized in their own communities. Let's keep it real. I mean, a lot of civilians can't even go for a nice jog down the street when the sun comes down because they're terrorized and they're trained to stay in the home because the freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. Facts, sad facts. So was Trump listening? Is Trump listening to, I don't know, leaders in certain cities? Because the blue team and the red team, the C's and B's, they're not just in Los Angeles. They are everywhere in America now. Everywhere. Everywhere. And they are just as big there as they are here in Los Angeles. Right? Let's keep it real. Everywhere. Tennessee, Ohio, New York, Florida, Georgia, Washington, D.C. They all have Crips and Bloods. Will Trump be coming after these gangs that have been, quote, terrorizing our communities for years? Will they? Will Trump because he ain't playing right now. And once again, I'm sure Trump is going to be at the 2028 Olympics. I'm a guarantee he's going to be at the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. I'm going to have a couple of bad bitches on my side. I do a horrible Trump. But is he talking to the people? And will what happened today in Los Angeles, will that happen in other parts of the country? I guess only time will tell. We shall see. But I think Trump, in my personal opinion, in my most humble opinion, I think he's going to start going after organizations all over the country. It ain't good to be a gangster right now. Right now. Maybe 2 years ago, sure. Biden, you could do whatever you want with Biden behind the wheel, but Trump ain't playing that. What do you think? Comment down below. Do you think Donald Trump is going to come after the street organizations all over this country? I kind of think so. Let me know. And if you haven't already done so, please hit that like button. Smash it. It really helps me out. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. One of the other things that the feds are not too upset, not too happy about with Big U, apparently, is they feel that he's been funneling illegal money through his nonprofit organizations. And before we get into that, we're going to get into 2020, 2021, when the government was offering all these loans to everybody. And who was taking these loans? People in the hood. Look, a lot of people in the hood, because they were the ones that were directly affected. A lot of people that are not in the hood, they didn't have to take the loan because they have real estate and other things and investments and stuff. The people who are working, check to check. The people who owned a business that wasn't really doing well, those were the ones that took those PPP loans. And I remember thinking, no, don't do it. No, don't do it. That's how I felt when I heard people taking out PPP loans. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people were taking out PPP loans that were not supposed to be taking out PPP loans, and I knew that was going to happen also. And what do a lot of these people think? They're not going to bother with me. My silly little $100,000. They got bigger fish to fry. Not with this president. Him and Salute Boy and Elon, let's see, Salute Guy. Oh, they're coming after you. Oh, they may not have got, you think 2020, they didn't get me. 2021, they didn't get me. 2022, they didn't get me. 2023, they didn't get me, man. I'm going. 2024, they didn't get me. And then 2025, they come and get your ass. Oh, it's happening. I see news stories all the time. This person took out a PPP loan in April of 2021, and now it's May of 2025, and they're arresting these people. They did it to set you guys up, in my opinion. I think the Democrats did that to set you up, just like they did to set up the immigrants to come in the country, get all this free stuff, and then one day, nope, we're going to arrest all of you. Take you back. Y'all still don't realize the Democrats ain't your friends, huh? But anyway, they give you shit, and then, oh, yeah, go ahead. Don't worry about PPP loan. You need $200,000? Yeah, gotcha. You're good. You're good. No, you're good. Look, pay me back whenever. Whenever someone says pay me back whenever, nah, homie. You up to some shit. But they're saying that Big U was funneling money through his nonprofit organizations. And that kind of sucks if he was. Not saying that he was, but that does suck that does really suck. And there's so much information now, like this thing exploded. This thing oh my God, there's so much stuff. There's paperwork out now. There's people coming out saying this, that. There's baby mamas coming out. It's like, whoa, this thing opened the floodgates, and all because certain individuals just couldn't stop talking in front of the camera. But there are very few things that scare me more than the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service. Crips don't scare me. Bloods don't scare me. Pirus don't scare me. Southsiders don't scare me. The IRS scares me. I was on the IRS's bad side back in 2014. And I tell you this, you never want to be on the bad side of the IRS. Thankfully, fast forward 11 years, I'm good now. Me and the IRS, we are good friends. We are gravy. Shit, come on over for dinner, IRS. The wifey's making fried chicken. But apparently the IRS aren't too happy with Big U. Let me grab my phone so I can play this clip for you. Yeah, the IRS are not too happy with Big U.
And tax records show millions of dollars have poured into the nonprofit the feds say was the center of a criminal enterprise. Our investigative reporter Eric Leonard joins us now with more on how this organization was being funded and where all that money was. Eric.
Hey, Michael. Well, the most surprising discovery that we've had so far is that this nonprofit called the Ex-Offender Fellowship, which was also doing business under another nonprofit's name called Developing Options, that the city says were essentially one in the same. And they say the state has told us that those entities have faced suspensions by the state tax authority, the Franchise Tax Board.
So all this mumbo jumbo boring talk, allegedly millions of dollars. And this is what this news story is saying. This is NBC, and we all know that NBC is not the most reliable news source, but this is NBC saying that millions of dollars allegedly could have been funneled through Big U's nonprofit organizations.
While the city of LA has been paying millions of dollars into these organizations, and the amounts have...
The city of LA is paying millions of dollars into these organizations. Once again, with all these Doge cuts, they're looking into everything. Don't think your little funky $50,000 they don't care about. The IRS is going to come back for their funky ass $50,000. You know how when someone owes you money and you've been, you hawking them down like, dog, can I get my $100 back that I loaned you, you know what I'm saying? And then one day they come, man, here's your funky ass $100, dog. Man, now it's funky. Now my $100 that you needed 3 weeks ago is funky. Now that I got to pay my rent and you told me you would have me pay, now it's funky ass $3. They're going to come for your funky ass $50,000. Trust me when I tell you that. They're going to come for you. But let's get back to this. They're talking about Big U's organizations possibly funneling millions. And this is just, I'm quoting NBC, not the most reliable news source, about this.
At least in the last few years. The California Franchise Tax Board issued a suspension notice in April 2024 for one of the nonprofits operated by Eugene Henley Jr., who federal prosecutors in LA announced Wednesday faces racketeering and corruption charges for allegedly misusing money meant for the city's gang intervention efforts. Henley's...
Now, if this really did happen, that is a really crappy thing. Who was the other gangster they took down? Didn't they take Al Capone down because of his taxes or something like that? They couldn't get him on any of the other crazy that he did. I think it was Al Capone. Don't quote me on that, but one of the big gangsters back in the day, they couldn't get him on anything. He covered all of his bases and everything, but one thing he didn't do is he didn't file his taxes correctly one year, and they gave that nigga life, motherfucker, life. Get him. We got him. We didn't get you on all the 800 things that you did out there, but we got your ass on. And the IRS don't play, guys.
Most recent contract with the city shows a payment of nearly $800,000 due in July 2024, the final installment of a 4-year agreement that paid his groups more than $2.2 million for intervention. Henley, seen here in a red carpet photo, began forming the nonprofits in 2009, according to state records. They began receiving city gang intervention funding as far back as 2011. Between 2018 and 2023, LA Controller payment records show
Doge, Elon Musk, they're coming for you. They're coming for every penny, man. They're coming for every penny. And a few $1 million, that's a lot. A couple million, that's a lot of money to them right now. That'll add up. Add that in. Add that in. They don't care. Add that in. They're going to come and get their funky ass $50,000. All you people who thought you got away with those PPP scams back in the BPP loans scam, same shit. I remember seeing people on Instagram, hey, man, I got the hook 'em on PPP scam loan. Hey, come holla at me. All you need is a valid bank account. I'm like, are they really doing this on the internet? Oh, they're coming back for you too. All you ding-dongs on Instagram, I remember you guys. 2020, 2021, like, what are you doing? You're telling everybody that you got the connection on PPP scams, and then what? Then once you get arrested, now it's racism and it's the white man's fault? Man, y'all, my people are so off the fucking charts.
Henley's groups received around $500,000 a year. Then, in 2023, a significant increase that followed then-Mayor Eric Garcetti's efforts to increase funding for intervention work after the rise in violent street crime that followed the COVID-19 pandemic. Looking at the tax records for the Ex-Offender Fellowship, which includes the city money and private donations.
All right, I'm bored. It goes on for about a minute and a half. But basically, it sounds like he's even if all the other stuff ain't true, if he's just taking off just on this, that's going to be rough, man. That's going to be rough because you know what people don't like? Is when you misuse funds that are meant for helping children. And I'm not saying he did this. I hope none of this is true. Because you know why? All it does is lead a bunch more black people to prison. And what does that do? That keeps white folks working. All the people in the court, they got a job because of you. Goddamn person who drives the bus from prison to prison has a job because of you. The people who invest in prisons have a job because of you. And music executives who push the music that makes you want to go out there and take out each other, they're the ones profiting off of them, not you. Once again, we say this is part of the game. Chalk it up to the game. This is the game. Why are we the only ones that lose the game? Name me one person of color who has won the game. I can name hundreds, probably thousands, maybe even millions of white folks who won the game that we're playing. They ain't even playing. They're just waiting for us to put in our last quarter until it says the end and your black ass is sent off to prison. Real talk. I'm sure we'll be discussing this Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, and Big U situation more on my show. Like I said, there's so much information coming out right now. It's crazy. So I'm going to just let it mellow out for a little while. I'm going to let everybody talk about it. And then I might come back in about a week or so and share my thoughts. But other than that, I'm going to get out of here. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button.